What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. With the addition of Omega Waves in the Isle of Dread update, it's made us take a look back to some of those really hard-hitting single-target defenses. For example, the Lightning Strike Aura and the Cannonball Tower from the OG heroes, as you can effectively use them to clear Omega Waves and just get the job done for you. Now, if you're like me, you don't want to spend your entire time in the map swapping heroes in and out, so you want to find a way to use a defense that's going to work for you in the Omega Waves and is going to work as the general lane clear. For me personally, I found that the Lightning Strike Aura really gets the job done. I'm using them effectively in Omega Waves well over floor 200, and they just pack a mean punch. But in addition to that, they can still be really effective during the normal wave itself. Now, I have always used Lightning Strike Auras to focus on two mobs mainly, and that is Assassins and the Lady Orc Berserkers. So with my Lightning Strike Auras, I've always used Anti-Melee and Anti-Chaos. Of course, both the Berserkers and the Assassins are both Melee and Chaos mobs, so it allows these two anti-mods to stack on top of each other and get the job done. Now, the same can be said for the Omega Waves. Now, I don't have as much of a problem with, say, Skarnash. However, Nash, the Lady Orc Berserker boss from the Omega Waves, has definitely given me a hard time. So, in addition to just the normal waves, I'm going to want to focus on Nash particularly for those Omega Waves. So with that in mind, we already know that Nash, being a Berserker, is going to be affected by Anti-Melee and Anti-Chaos. In addition to that, Nash is also a mini-boss, so is going to be affected by Anti-Mini-Boss. With an Anti-Mini-Boss, Anti-Melee, Anti-Chaos setup, it allows me to triple stack these mods to get a massive effect against the Omega Waves. In addition to that, of course, I'm not getting the benefit of Anti-Mini-Boss unless it is on a boss lane. However, Anti-Melee and Anti-Chaos can still be very effective additions just to a normal lane itself. So it allows me to use this one monk to build my Lightning Strike Auras across the board. Now, I personally am going, once again, with the Anti-Mini-Boss, Anti-Melee, and Anti-Chaos, and I like to use Vampiric Empowerment, Defense Rate, and Destruction. Now remember, if you don't have a gilded defense rate, you will not be at the speed cap on your Lightning Strike Auras. Lightning Strike Auras should be attacking once per second, and if you don't get down to that attack rate cap, you might want to consider swapping one of those out with a defense rate mod until you can get a gilded shard. As far as Ascension goes, this is actually my Flame Aura monk that I multi-purpose use it. However, I still follow the basic rules of Ascension. So I started off with Defense Crit Chance in the Utility category. I started off with Defense Speed in the Defense category. Now, as I mentioned, this is my Flame Aura monk. I do use the Flame Auras more than the Lightning Strike Auras. So I've got all my points into Flame Auras. I didn't put anything into the LSAs, and they're still getting the job done for me. Now, I'm only in the 200s right now as floors. If I push higher and get into the 300s or 400s, I'm probably going to have to rethink this strategy and maybe have a separate monk just for the Ascension. When I get to that point, I will probably maybe reconsider what mods I'm going to use in my LSA. However, Anti-Mini-Boss, Anti-Melee, and Anti-Chaos works for me. By all means, you should target the bosses that give you the hardest time and triple stack some anti-mods to make sure all three of those mods are going to hit the bosses that are the most difficult to you. So hopefully this helps everyone understand how to kind of cross build and create a defense, the Lightning Strike Aura in this example, that will allow you to focus it on normal lanes, and in addition to that, the Omega Waves themselves. This exact mod setup would also work in Cannonballs, assuming you had a gilded defense rate, of course. It would wreck faces with Cannonballs as well. I personally prefer the Lightning Strike Auras, as I'm able to put down more of the auras with it only being a 20 DU defense. I can really slam them around and get those 3 anti-mods really stacking up on themselves. So that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, it is Friday, so I'll be live over on Twitch right after Trendy Friday Fun, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, and then I'll be back over here on YouTube for a late afternoon stream. So thank you all so much, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.